We are here again with another video. And I was kind of debating whether I should talk about this one. You know, um, I think I put a post on my YouTube saying who you believe the most, whether it's Beasley or Smack. Beasley or kshine. Because obviously kshine is having issues with his contract. That's a funny one because it's tricky. And I've been thinking about this for like over the past 2, 3 weeks. So before we get to this video, I want to give an honor to God. He's ahead of my life, and without him, nothing would be possible. Well, now that we got that out the way, now I'm just fucking with you guys. Yeah. So let's get into this video, man. So who do I believe the most? Whether it's Kayshawn or it's Beasley or URL, whoever you want to call it. But for me, I think from the videos that I've been watching that Kayshawn been posting, it's been seeming as though the energy been towards like Beasley the most. Like not even Smack. I don't even know how that's gonna transpire. Like because like I don't know if Smack has something to do with it or Smack being the big boss man and he like yo go get him Beasley or whatever. And Beasley is just the one who's just sitting back like in the forefront, like the face of the URL when it comes to like legal issues. And I never known Beasley to be no type of lawyer or anything, or no type of attorney or in law enforcement like that. That big bully guy for the URL. But I know that he's good with his words and he's able to project his words to where everybody can understand him, opposed to Smack, who kind of be like tipsy a little bit, so it's like not a good time for him to even touch upon certain situations because of the fact that he's intoxicated. But shout outs to Smack because like I feel like even though Smack is not the one that's talking and he be a little wasted sometimes, like I like him in that original state, like that natural state. So with that being said, like who do I believe the most? Man, I'm gonna keep it 100. It's kind of tricky for me because Kayshawn is one of my top 5 battle rappers of all time. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't like him in the beginning when he battled Goods because he was more or less like too aggressive and he was rhyming too fast and you couldn't really understand like the words that he was saying. But as he grew, he got better to me. You know what I mean? And he worked hard for that. Like out of order of the Dot Mob when Dot Mob was a thing back then. Even though T Rex still, is in charge of the movement, you might not see Murder Mook as much with the Dot Mob thing, but for the fact that T Rex like moved it or whatever, Kayshawn been for me like the face of that whole era. Like when it comes to like Dot Mob and Murder Mook and Harlem battle rappers, he overshadowed like Murder Mook and I want to say T Rex in the sense because when Mook first started, I was like a major Mook fan. So I was always rooting for Mook. But then when he kind of like stopped rapping because of the whole money issue thing, I kind of like still rooted for him. So whoever was like rocking with him at that time, which was Kayshawn and T Rex, I was rocking with them. So then like T Rex was like the face for me. So I'm like, yo, yeah, I fuck with T Rex. Like, he always consistent. He's always showing up. He's active. He's still battling. And whoever you throw at him, he's gonna, he gonna always like show up. So then he kind of faded away. I guess like I don't really know what the reasons were for him, but I know for Mook it was a money thing. For T Rex, I don't know what was the issue. So then, like later on down the line, I'm like, yo, this guy Kayshawn is still going. Like, he this is when he kind of battled Calico for me. I still think he lost that battle, but at the same time, like he still was aggressive. He still like was hungry, right? So, and then he kept going. He kept going, and then he became this like guy who just never lost. And I'm like, yo, I gotta give him his credit. So I'm big on like people putting the like work ethic in when it comes to this battle rap thing. Like you gotta put your work in. You can't just come out and just for me to just be like, oh, he's nice, he's my goat, like, and he only had like 3 battles. That's not me. So with that being said, like, I am a Kshine fan, and I respect everything he's doing. But when it comes to this Beasley situation and this contract situation, it's like, bruh, we all know like you have to read the contract. Like, you gotta separate business from friends. And I know Kayshawn, like, he is loyal like that. Kayshawn is the type of person who you need in your group of friends. Like, he's gonna be always one of those loyal people who just like do things based off being a man. You feel me? And I feel like him and URL, you have to separate the two of those, like being a man and doing a righteous thing and actually doing what's good for your business. So what he failed is the fact that he didn't do what's right for him, and now it's starting to backfire. That's what I got of this. At first, I was on Kayshawn's side. I'm not gonna lie, 100%. And I don't want you to be mad at me, Kayshawn. This is just how I feel. Like, if you ever read this, I only got a couple followers, so I'm not that big. You don't have to read this, but I just want you to know, like, you my boy. Like, I fuck with you hard body, like, and I don't want you to get mad at what I'm gonna say, like, cause it's not gonna sway in your favor. But I really think that he should have like read the contract and actually negotiated what he want. Granted, like, I know, like, once that bag hit, you thinking like, yo, 4 battles or whatever the contract say, 4 battles. I'm gonna do these 4 battles, and I'm gonna just come up with my rounds, get this bag, and go home. But apparently, like, from the experience of URL, they know like things happen in between those battles, and it causes things not, and it causes a lot of battles to not happen. So from their experience, they like progress. They put in a stipulation certain things that if it happens in a negative way, it wouldn't affect their brand or their show. And that's what, like, I think Kayshawn, he fell on the short end of that stick. So with that being said, it's like, yo, bro, like, you guys gotta read your contracts. Like, you have to like read them or just pay a lawyer. Like, they got cheap lawyers who run through contracts. You don't have to get one of the big lawyers who all the battle rappers have, like these Johnny Cochran lawyers. God rest his soul. You don't need none of those guys. You could just get a regular lawyer, even an up and coming lawyer, and just they go over the main details of the contract and they explain it to you in a better way to put to where you understand it. Because I know in these contracts they put like these words that you can't understand. So this is why, like, a lawyer would play a good part. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't got it, but guess what? If I get a contract from somebody, I'm gonna order a lawyer, bro, and that's a fact. And I think Kayshawn failed to do that because he was basing everything off of his relationship with URL. And it just so happened, I feel like he signed like this 4 deal contract or 4 battle contract, 4 or 5. I'm not really sure, but I think if from reading what he posted, he signed like a 4 battle contract where he battled. I think it was Chilla Jones, Hollow the Don, Real Sick, and Jack, and I mean not real. Yeah, I think it's Real Sick, or is it Jack Boy and Real Sick, or Jack Boy and Daylight? One of those two. And for some reason, that last battle didn't go down because of the Daylight battle. Didn't go down because of the Daylight battle was the end all be all for him as far as that 4 battle contract. So the Daylight battle didn't go down. So he replaced him with, I think it was I'm not really sure, bro. Like, I gotta really. I think it was he replaced the Daylight battle for Real Sick and for Jack Boy, right? And being that didn't go down, Kayshawn is saying that's a breach of contract, no matter if it's Daylight's fault or Jack Boy's fault or URL fault. It ain't, from my understanding, it ain't his fault. So he's saying it's a breach. Get me out of my contract and let me go battle somewhere else. And honestly, bro, like, if you read the contract, I feel like